I know that it seems sometimes that no matter what you do.
Good day, viewers. You are welcome to this our series on wealth creation. All that we've been discussing earlier has been on being blessed. And we observe that the covenant of wealth that God has with us is standing on two legs. What are the legs? Being blessed and being a blessing. Many of us know how to be blessed, but very few people knows how to be a blessing. And for you to stand in the covenant of wealth, you must be strong on these two legs, being blessed and being a blessing. All that we have been discussing on connectedness, true spa, and all the other C's has been on being blessed. Now today, before we go on further, I want to talk on being a blessing, and that is liberality, which the Jews, the Hebrew language calls tzedakah. In our free language, we call it charity. Charity, tzedakah. Now, in the Hebrew language, the word tzedakah that we refer to as charity means justice, social justice, righteousness. That means to say, it is what it means for you to be righteousness when you are liberal. When you are liberal, you are doing a righteous thing. You don't need to have pity on the person. You don't need the person to attract it from you for one reason or the other. It is just that it is the right thing to do according as you are blessed. Now, in the Hebrew and in the Torah, there are 8 degrees of tzedakah, that is 8 degrees of liberality. And according as they are stated, the more blessed they are. That is, number 2 is more blessed than number 1. Number 3 is more blessed than number 2. On and on like that. So let me quickly tell you number 1 of degree or level of tzedakah or liberality is when you give reluctantly. When you give reluctantly, Jesus said God loves a cheerful giver. That means whenever it is that your reluctance has to be overcome before you give, you're not giving it cheerfully, you are a reluctant giver. This is the basis of all the liberalities and is not really blessed. And I find out that many of us, that's the level that we are. We need to be talked to and talked to and talked to and talked to before we will finally give. We need to be cajoled before we finally give. We need to be much reminded before we finally give. That means we are not seeing giving as a righteousness. We are not seeing giving as a just thing to do. We are seeing it as, if they could push me very well, I will do it. That is giving reluctantly. The number 2 that is more blessed than the number 1 is when you give graciously, but not as much as you have been blessed. That means you are not giving reluctantly, but you are not giving up to the blessings of God on your life. That is the number 2, which is more blessed than number 1. Now, number 3 is when you give to the best that God has blessed you. That is, you are giving to the best that God has blessed you, but that is after you are asked to give it. That means you are waiting to be asked. After being asked, you will give to the best that God has blessed you. That is number 3. And you remember, this is more blessed than the second one. The second one is that you are giving as much as God has blessed you, but you wait to be asked. You wait to be asked. You are giving this one. Number 3 is that you are giving enough, but only after you are being asked. Now, number 4 is you are giving it even before you are asked. Number 4 is you are giving it even before you are asked. You're giving what is proper, but no pressure of being asked. Now, number 5 is when you give without the knowledge of the recipient. You just know about a need, and the need is very important. The need is a social justice. The need is a right thing to service. You don't wait for the person to know. You just go behind and get it done. The person may now come to know later or not, but you are not calling his attention before you go ahead and get it done. Now, number C is when you are giving anonymously. You are giving without making your identity known. You will not give. You are not giving any clue for you to be known. That is anonymous giver. Now, number 7 is when you are giving to a recipient that is not known to you, and also you are not allowing yourself to be known to the recipient. You are not known, and the person you are giving it to is not known to you. Let me give an example. Maybe something happened in a country. There's a disaster somewhere in the country, and an NGO wants to service that need, and you give your money to the NGO. Nobody knows that you gave it to the other NGO. The NGO went to the place and serviced that need. You don't know the people there, and also the people do not know you. In our next episode, by the grace of God, we shall be treating the next level of Tzedakah, and also look at how your many blessing influence your worldliness. God bless you. In Jesus' name.